We march ahead.
To move out.
I will see this through. Together we stand.
The goddess protects us.
Venimosi travisi. Venimosi travisi.
I will run on my
Do you require my unbiased opinion?
won't fall here. I swear it. You've crossed the wrong mongrel. You won't survive me.
Con allo
spell.
Attack!
Retreat is not an option.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Begone, fiend! Endure this!
Contemplate on your mistakes.
Close ranks.
Try again. Ah, yeah. Shame.
Make every strike count. Kneel before me.
Into the fray!
Fall!
We shall overcome.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. Did you see that? This one's mine. Huh.
The light, take you!
I will bring down the divine wrath.
Do not hold back.
You won't survive me. Press the attack.
No glory without risk!
Eternal Rose, I call upon you.
Strike as one. Attack!
Endure this! Retreat is not an option.
Why are we making a mystery of ourselves?
You are surrounded by sound of melodious voice that seems to be coming from the stone pillar all around you. Greet an esteemed guest. You are here to seek the hospitality of the illustrious Lady Valexia, or are you here on other business? The entrance to this manor greets you politely. It is far more gracious than the impudent, foul-mouthed door at the 10,000th right. Who are you? I am both the gate and the gatekeeper. My responsibility includes greeting guests, ascertaining the purpose of the visits, and deciding whether to allow them entry to the manor. Whose manor is this? The manor is called the Rapture of Rapture, and it belongs to the incomparable Lady Valexia. She is the shining star of the city, and his most glorious resident. After the magnificent Selecti Nocticula, of course. Who created you? Lady Valexia enchanted me herself and personally entrusted me with my responsibilities. She possesses a wide range of impressive talents. I am just a humble testament to her skills and cannot compare to the true masterpieces she creates with her abilities. I seek Lady Valexia patronage. I would like to enter. Welcome to the Rapture of Rapture, esteemed lady. Lady Valexia will be notified when we arrive right away. The demon that comes to greet you has blonde hair and is wearing a modest but elegant dress. She seems surprisingly friendly. Her soft voice and impeccable manners seem out of place in a city where extreme passion and boundless indulgence prevail over temperance and moderation. A new guest has arrived. How exciting. A mortal from Galarian, and my eyes do not deceive me. What brings you to my manor? This is all very intriguing. Valexia, we have clashed in battle many times. Her clothes were always stained with the blood of those she killed on the battlefield. Now she looks different. But I am certain that her true nature remains unchanged. She is still violent and dangerous. You must be on your guard, champion. Social looks embarrassed. He speaks reluctantly, as if he finds the words difficult. I am sure the heart that beats within your chest is wicked and merciless, but my goddess demands that I am sincere when I say true beauty, when I see true beauty, though I dare to ask how many lives such beauty has taken. Such a compliment, sudden and unsophisticated, yet surprisingly delightful. I never thought that words of admiration from a mortal could touch my heart, but it seems that praise from the cleric of Shaelin can make even a succubi feel flattered. Everyone talks about you here in the city. Who are you? Valexia laughs happily. Ah, how refreshingly direct. Well, let me tell you a little about myself. My name is Lady Valexia, but it is common for others to add a few epithets before my name. Often something like magnificent or illustrious. I hold considerable influence in Aeon City. You could even call it my little queendom. I'm the foremost member of the city elite, and all the aristocrats of the city acknowledge me as the de facto leader. You might be under the misconception that the city is ruled by Shamira, but Shamira is nothing more than a glorified cleaner, entrusted with the responsibility of tending to the latrines. I, on the other hand, hold sway over the most powerful and influential demons in the city. You see, my dear friend Nocticula allows me to lead the nobility because I look out for her interests. She knows that I am loyal. Unlike most demons, I do not aspire to power beyond what I already possess. I would never stage a coup against Our Lady in Shadows, nor would I ever use my position in society to support anyone else in such a foolish endeavor. I am the commander of Crusade of Golarion. I am famous warrior known for my amazing powers. I seek the honor of your attention and the pleasure of inestimable company. Valexia answers politely but without much enthusiasm. No, for your amazing powers. Here in the Abyss you will need more than power and influence to impress others. Your special abilities will hardly give you the same status as they did on your homeworld. The demons will not see you as worthy of glory and respected until you demonstrate what makes you unique. However, you've managed to pique my interest, and I would be glad to make your acquaintance. There is no need to bother with titles. You can simply call me Valexia. And you are? Don't put your trust in her words, champion. Valexia's temper is like the wind that blows across Ishai. It changes constantly and bodes poorly for us no matter what direction it turns. You must watch her as vigilantly as a skilled sailor watches the horizon. You can call me Kalalpala. Kalalpala? Valexia rolls your name slowly across the tongue as if teasing the way it sounds. What an unusual name. Certainly not in keeping with the spirits of the Abyss. But I like it. You know, Kalalpala, I have a proposal for you. Let's pick a place that's nice and romantic and go on an innocent little date together. It will be a chance for us to get to know one another. How about Battle Bless? It offers simple, spirited entertainment, and that will be a good place for us to talk undisturbed. No one will notice us because they'll be too busy watching the fights in the pits. We can have nice conversation and learn more about one another. I'll be waiting for you at the arena. I hope you'll accept my invitation. I'll be very disappointed if you deny me the pleasure of your company. Valexia gives you a admiring smile and adds, after all, you are the champion. You have conquered the arena. Where better to learn more about you than in the place you proved your worth? Yes, I do like to know you a little bit better. I'm flattered by your attention and I find you personally intriguing. You know, I take a great interest in promising young talent, and I tend to offer my patronage to gifted artists. Unfortunately, many of them turn out to be frauds, unable to keep me entertained for more than a few seconds. Acquaintances of mine once mentioned that you used to fly naked over the city. They said you wreak havoc and terrorize the city in every way imaginable. Valexia blushes slightly and hastily brushes off the question. Oh no, that's preposterous. Those are just ridiculous rumors and exaggerated story. Of course, when I was younger, I may have allowed myself to be a little too exuberant. But still, what a violent lie, flying naked. Such outrageous nonsense. The demon tries to pretend she is outraged, but a sly, self-satisfied smile plays about her lips. You are not like the other demons, why is that? Time. It's a simple answer, but true. I know a lady is never supposed to reveal her age, but suffice to say that I am far older than this city and can recall the circumstances in which it was founded. During the ages that have passed, I have had time to play various roles. Perhaps if the gods of Golarion are generous and bless you with longevity, we will meet again. But if that does happen, say 1,000 years from now, I will be completely different. As time passes, I grow bored with each new version of myself, and since boredom is my sworn enemy, I have to reinvent myself to escape its grasp. What made you interested in me? You are so modest, Valexia nods knowingly. You are the Golarian's warrior, and you are responsible for securing several major victories under the Wand. You had the courage to descend into the Abyss, and now you are chosen to pay me a visit. However, you are not here to wave a sword in my face, but to have a nice conversation. Now, to be honest, if you were me, wouldn't you be intrigued? You are very powerful, aren't you? It is true that my name carries a certain degree of prestige here in the city. My advice, based on millennia of experience, can be truly valuable, and my adventurous life has allowed me to acquire extensive connections, as well as an impressive collection of powerful curiosities. Oh, now really just listen to me, talking your ear off like a market seller. The demon laughs at herself good naturally. Are you skilled in magic of enchantments? Yes, that's one of my many talents. A life that spans thousands of years can be a challenge for even the most lively and curious of minds. I'm always looking for something new and exciting to do, so I have studied many strange subjects. I take particular interest in anything bizarre or unusual. And would you like to support a young talent? Alexia glances at you coyly and gives you a charming smile. I would have told you that I am driven by pure altruism and desire to perform good deeds, and you would have thought me the kindest and the most noble of demons. But the truth is that I am easily bored, and by attracting the young and the gifted, I can discover something new every day. They keep me entertained, and to be honest, they add to my prestige. I like making new friends, and with my help, those friends can become very influential indeed. What happens to the ones who fail to interest you? Alexia looked at you uncomprehendingly for several moments, then burst into a petal of musical laughter. Ah, so you've heard those ridiculous rumors. Don't pay any attention to them. They are all boring. Whoever invented them has no imagination. I had rumored that I killed them, that I kept them in my dungeons. I even just imagined I raped them until they dropped dead of exhaustion. It's all an extraordinary load of rubbish. I haven't done anything like that for at least a couple of millennia.
You are my favorite aide.
Something over there. Can't hide from me.
I found something.
For your date, Valexia has changed her previous dress to an equally elegant outfit. The blood-red hue of her new gown seemed particularly fitting, considering the activities of the arena. There you are, Kalalpala. Let's hurry to the box reserved for distinguished guests. I am determined not to let you enjoy the spectacle from any other seats. Your dress is very elegant. The demon blushes slightly and gives you a pleased smile. I am flattered that you notice such things, especially here in the arena, where there are so many other sides to capture your attention. Speaking of which, the fight is about to start. A fierce battle unfolds in the arena. The bloody freak surges forward, lunging into the brutal attack against Aslam. Aslam desperately raises to resist the onslaught, but the bloody freak is relentless. He strikes one furious blow after another, showing no sign of exhaustion or fatigue as he bears down on his opponent. Aslam attempts to fight back against her enemy with quick, sudden attack, but fails to find the opening. Her movements begin to slow and her footsteps leave behind a crimson trail of blood. Valexia observes you closely. Her eyes sparkle with lively curiosity and you are forced to turn your attention away from the fight as she asks. Slavery is the cornerstone of our life in the Abyss. Gladiator fights are popular source of entertainment. How are such shows received by your homeland of Galarian? Why is your view of slavery? Angel's voice is tense as he is expecting to fight to break out any moment. She is too gentle, too placid. Nothing at all like how she used to behave in battle. No, when we fought one another, she was never meek or gentle. She was a fury of rage and angry curses. The masquerade, the tricks of hers, it all seems very suspicious to me. I think slavery is a reasonable practice, but unfortunately not everyone in Galarian shares my opinion. Different lands and different nations have very different customs, so it would be difficult to speak for all of them on this matter. Valexia looks at you with interest. Her curiosity has clearly been aroused. Indeed, I've heard that there are many different cultures in Galarian, and that all of them have contradicting customs and traditions. I imagine the numerous clashes between these cultures are quite dramatic and prove an endless source of fascination for those who study them. With a victorious growl, the bloody freak hurls himself recklessly at his rival, who appears to be exhausted from her wounds. However, Astel was merely feigning weakness. She dodges at the last moment and strikes a rousing blow. Blood gushes from the demon's wounds, and his growl of rage gives way to a howl of desperation. Alexia glances disinterestedly at the arena. When she returns her attention to you, she is clearly more interested in conversation than in watching the fight. Nevertheless, even Galarian who are not enslaved are often forced to fight by those in authority, yet they still charge into battle with such a zeal as those two gladiators down in the arena. So tell me, what gives them the motivation to fight? What do they hope to achieve? Everyone fights for their own interests, they just pretend otherwise. The demon nods in her emphatic approval. I am so happy that you do not practice the foolish self-deception that is so popular amongst people. Indeed, everyone fights for themselves. It is so nice to make the acquaintance of such a shrewd and insightful individual. Aston no longer putting up a presence of weakness advance against the bloody freak, dealing him several painful blows. She strikes with precision, drawing blood but never delivering a fatal blow. The onset goes wild as Aslam toys with her opponent, and the smell of blood hangs heavy in the air. There is no doubt that the merciless symphony of violence being played out in the arena will soon reach its deadly crescendo. But the bloody freak isn't finished. He lets out a monstrous bloodthirsty howl. It reverberates around the arena as he channels his powerful rage into one last brutal attack. He strikes as swift as lightning, and Aston's flurry of blows is brought to a sudden halt. She sways slightly and doubles over as if embracing the blade that was just plunged through her body. Then, with another primal roar, the demon cuts her down, dispatching his weakened opponent with one powerful strike. Alexia watches Aslam closely. She muses truthfully. Not even warrior will meet their death eventually. How do Galarian face the end of their life? Are they scared of death, or do they despise it, or do they welcome it as a friend? There is no reason to be afraid of a worthy death. Alexia nods approvingly. Hello, bravely. Cowardice and insecurity are so dull and predictable. Only true courage leads to unexpected results. The scream of howls of the coward crowds are deafening. The bloody freak, obvious to his numerous wounds, bask in the admiration of the audience. The arena master voice rings out across the battlefields. All hail the winner! All hail bloody freak! Zamira rises from her place and announces loudly, I want this bloodthirsty fighter to be my servant. From now on he is my slave, and anyone insolent enough to object will face my wrath. If you outbid Hazra for the gladiator, you will wipe the smirk of her arrogant face. Alexia averts her gaze but fails to hide a mischievous smile. What a positively delightful idea. I can't resist. Ah, why do you do this to me? You discovered my weakness. Only a moment ago, Heb Samira commanded the attention of the entire audience as she boasted about her power. However, when Valexia raises from her seat, all eyes turn towards the succubus. I dare to challenge the claim of the most esteemed Heb Samira. I am touched by this fighter's tenacity. He has found a way to my heart, and I wish to make him my bodyguard. If anyone dares to argue against my right to make such a claim, they can say it to my face. The arena master glances curiously at Heb Zamira, and then he turns to Valexia and gives her a respectful nod. The crowd erupts into jeer and shouts, clearly enjoying the public humiliation of Baphomet's daughter. Heb Zamira bellows and utters wild curses, and the sounds of her wrath shake the arena. But Valexia ignores her threats with a look of magnificent disdain and gives you a sly smile. This was so exciting! I've enjoyed our time together here at the arena. However, I cannot resist the urge to appear with you somewhere in high society. I'm sure you wouldn't say no to attending a private reception with me at the Harem of Ardent Dreams. Shamira has prepared something special for her guests, and I would very much like for you to experience it with me. I shall wait for you at the Harem of Ardent Dreams. You really must come. I simply won't take no for an answer. Valexia suddenly pauses as she is about to leave. She turns towards you with a look of gentle reproach. Oh, you should have reminded me. I nearly forgot. After such a wonderful time together, we must become a regular guest. I insist. Please accept this little gift, a reminder that the doors of my manor are always open to you. This coin is the key to a teleportation arc locked in the upper city. I would not normally give something like this to my ordinary guests, but there is nothing ordinary about you, is there?
Uh-huh.
I will help where I can. This was simple enough.
Are we ready to move out?
Our plan has reached its final phase. Our agents are everywhere, and our allies wait for the signal to attack. Soon the city will drown in blood of demons. Our master will be pleased, will regain our former power and glory, and these pathetic self-proclaimed gods will fall. I sense an invited guest, surely a demon spy. Kill her, Seven, seize her. A couple of seven heads will ensure my survival under the new regime. I'm ready to kill anyone.
We shall overcome.
Kneel before me. This is not my time yet. Make every strike count.
That.
You are my favorite aide.
Together we stand.
Your orders,
I'm
Commander.
all ears. Let me help.
Rimosi Travisi. Rimosi Travisi. Ona Adayana.
I'm always open to ideas.
We are the light. They are the darkness.
This is not my time yet.
obsessed with him.
Retreat is not an option.
The light take you!
Patricium Turinos.
We shall overcome.
Kneel before me.
Into the fray!
Patricium Turinos.
This was unexpected.
Do not hold back.
This one's mine.
Patricium Turinos.
I've survived worse. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Strike as one.
I failed you, friends. Press the attack!
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
This is not my time yet.
I'll help where I can.
Are we ready to move out?
We march ahead.
We won't fall here. I swear it. You've crossed the wrong mongrel. You won't survive me.
The light, take you!
Attack! We shall overcome. Do not hold back.
Amorane Sende.
Endure this!
Into the fray! I'm done!
Strike as one.
Retreat is not an option. Begone, fiend! Make every strike count. Did you see that?
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Attack!
I can still fight.
Ah! No one can use them. Fuming.
Yes, what?
Now, Aeon, Orma.
We are making a mystery of ourselves.
Now, Aeon, Orma.
Quiet steps. Weapons
Anything
ready.
new?
Together?
We march ahead.
We won't fall here. I swear it. You've crossed the wrong mongrel. Did you see that?
Attack! We shall overcome!
The light. Take you. Now, Aeon, Orma.
Your performance is lacking. You are lacking. Retreat is not an option. You won't survive me.
Do not hold back.
No glory without risk!
Patricium Tuino!
Down.
Steps. Weapons ready. I can still fight. Kneel before me. This one's mine. endure this!
I need your assistance.
Strike as one. Take that!
Into the fray!
Is this a mock fight?
I can still fight.
Oh my god.
Esmo, Axe, yes.
There was a flaw.
Make every strike count.
Attack!
The light take you!
No! Oh! Wrong button.
Weapons ready.
The world has suffered enough. Now, what am I missing?
I see no reason to have this.
Patrizio Turinos! Patrizio Turinos! Patrizio Turinos!
I stand ready.
Something over there.
This was simple enough.
Jil Kanan was an energetic and capricious demon, indifferent to power and violence, but a greater lover of riddles and puzzles. It was he who captured the mysterious collector that had been preying upon the city nobility, and it was he who returned our Mikleth stolen golden carbuncle. But his most famous investigation is by far the case of burning gladiators. One day, a bunch of slavers stepped onto the stand of the battleless arena, unbidden. They were cloaked in flames but did not scream, silently carrying the bodies of the slain jailers on the tips of their spears. Having formed up column before the demons, awestruck at the sight, they spoke in a single voice. "I have been taken from, so now I take." A moment later they vanished in a conflagration that incinerated most of the spectators, leaving only charred words on the ashen floor of the arena for pain and fire. This incident was just the beginning. The killings in the arena continues, with gladiators seemingly losing their minds and attacking the guards, catching fire and burning for ash alongside the tormentors. All that remained were the cryptic words, "the pain and fire," for pain and fire. Shamira the Aradan Dream commanded Jadil to solve the mystery of these unusual deaths. The jail took a cup of blood, and on every wall of the arena wrote the following: "I have taken from you, and I will take again." Having issued this challenge to the unknown killer, the jail waited, but not for long, because the bloody letters caught fire. The jail proclaimed he had solved the riddle and would reveal the answer to everyone on the next day. The next moment, a dozen trolls turned into pillars of flame and surrounded the jail. In a single voice they asked, "Do you think you have exposed me, demon? What do you even know, you arrogant fiend? I know your name. You are Namarius, a demigod born of the goddess Sekhmet. You and your wife-to-be were captured and forced to fight to the death in the arena. She fell, and you set yourself on fire out in grief, but were never truly gone. Your spirit is bound to this object." Smiling, the jail presented the brand used to mark the slave as the arena property. "I used my sorcerer's sight to watch you light up my word, and I felt where the threads of your spell converge. This band left a mark on your skin and the skin of your beloved bride. I was also used to mark the slave whose minds you dominate and used to instrument of your revenge. Am I wrong?" The burning gladiators howled in the Mary's voice, but it was too late. The jail cast a spell on the brand and trapped the vengeful demigod, defeating and disempowering his foe. The tradition of using hot iron to mark the gladiators ceased, and the fate of Nemarius' brand remained unknown up to this very day.
A bright
Our
future
time
awaits
has
us.
come. Let us not hesitate.
I will help where I can. Call me again if you need to.
Our path leads on.
This was simple enough.
I will guide us.
Huh? Achievement
I
to
will
pop.
see this through.
Let's do it again.
Ona Adayanam!
I stand ready.
Close ranks. You've crossed the wrong mongrel. Did you see that?
Attack! We shall overcome!
Retreat is not an option.
The light, take you!
Begone, fiend! You won't survive me. Your performance is lacking. You are lacking.
Do not hold back. Take that! Contemplate on your mistakes.
Kneel before me.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Endure this!
Strike as one!
No glory without risk!
Patrizio Durinos! Tenemossi Travisi!
Attack!
This will leave a bruise.
So I think I need to kill him at the end. Which is hard.
I will not falter.
I will lend you my aid.
Irimo
I always did.
Travisi.
Therefore, I became righteous. Does it mean whatever I do now becomes right because I am righteous?
Close ranks.
The light. Take you. I'm done with you.
You crossed the wrong mountain.
Attack!
Retreat is not an option.
Lavorare sette.
You won't survive me.
We shall overcome.
Kneel before me.
Now we are making a mystery of ourselves?
This will leave a
This
bruise.
condition is irrational.
The inheritor. Guide my blade.
Endure this.
Vision blurring, legs are shaking. Peculiar.
Do not hold back.
We're making a mystery of ourselves?
Huh? Oh fuck. Oh fuck. To be fair, I just need one, if I remember correctly.
I will see this through.
The goddess protects us.
Patricium Turinos! Patricio Turinos!
Together we stand. Let us not hesitate.
Call me again if you need to.
That is quite a discovery.
This was simple enough.
Our time has come.
I will help where I can. Did I mess up
I
again?
stand ready.
Oh well, bug. Next playthrough, maybe I'll get this achievement. First time here, I feel some looking to keep your steps forward, blocking your path. Are you sure you're welcome here? This is the harem of Aradan Dreams, the place of Shamira, chief demons of the city. After Noctucula, of course. But when did Noctucula ever care about our petty concerns? Bottom line, this place belongs to the person who really runs everything around here. Got it? How does the feeble guard like you expect to stop someone who has vanquished hordes of demons on Golarion? I was meant to scare me, sure, I heard there's a massacre happening in Golarion, but how may I know you have anything to do with it? Until I see blood on your hands, you remain nothing but a pogrom to strangers. Okay, let me in. The demon shrugs. You are known in the city, I don't think Shamira would deny you an audience. Come in.
I will not falter.
It was a good idea of mine to introduce you to a high society at this reception. You've the subjects of gossip among guests. I heard them whispering about how we showed up together. You look stunning. Alexia covers her mouth with her hand and she gives you an elegant little laugh. I certainly couldn't go out wearing the same dress last time, could I? I would have bored you. However, I would have bored myself. Shamira's voice rings out through the hall. All rise. The proceedings now begin with the dispensation of false justice. I, Shamira, the ardent dream, will perform the duties of judge. The rights of prosecution will be granted to anyone acquired with rage and hatred, and the part of the defender will be given to time and blind fate. All the participants are obliged to show due dread and obedience to the decision of the court. Now our first case is brought by the assassin Dogwork against the bodyguard of for hire, Catrol. Dogwood accuses Catrol of being excessively nimble and dexterous. This excessive dexterity enabled the defendant to foil 3 assassination attempts against his employer, thus preventing the plaintiff from fulfilling his contract. Valexia is most interested in having a conversation that he's watching the sham trial. You know, Kalpala, after our last, Alexia pauses playfully, visit to the Battle Blaze, I've been thinking a lot about the customs of Golarion. Despite our differences, we actually have a lot of common. Our action and desires stem from the same passion, except when it comes to Alexia eyes widen in excitement, and she utters a word that is foreign to the abyss as you are. To love. It is common knowledge the demon know nothing about love, so why don't you explain it to me? I whispered to the herald. Do you still believe Alexei is dangerous? More than ever. Take a look at this place. She brought you here to witness this mockery of justice, to watch this genuine insult to truth and fairness. She's either trying to provoke you to violence or make you one of their obedient puppets. Love is a broad concept it would be impossible to explain. After a moment's consideration, Alexia nods approvingly. You are a thoughtful and insightful conversationalist. You don't rush to make witty remarks on every subject, and that's good. I try to be more specific. Growling with rage, Catrol the bodyguard has his head chopped off with a giant axe from being too good at his job. The crowd roars in approval, and the beaming Palif counts his coins. This is a perversion of justice, the making a mockery of the very idea of fair and noble trial. They enjoy ridiculing the law. It is true that love restricts freedom and that its harsh constraint can sometimes lead to cruel evil deeds. Does not love force people to act contrary to their desires and subordinates them to object of their affection? Do not even the most loving souls feel occasional regret about trading away their freedom for love? Haven't the most terrible betrayers been committed for the sake of love? Doesn't unrequited love cause mortals to commit suicide, and isn't rejection the reason they often result to violence and other terrible crimes? I am most curious to hear your answer to those questions. Yes, when a mortal cannot control their emotions, their love can become a devastating force. That's why the feeling and emotions of the heart must be governed by the logic and reason of the mind. The demon looks at you more closely. You speak of love as if it were a weapon. A true warrior respects the blade because it is capable of cutting down enemy and careless owners alike. You treat love as carefully as you would a sword. The execution has the audience in the uproar. The demon howl their approval as Shamira has to raise the voice to be heard above the noise. Next we will hear the case of Varsa, the Nosecutor. He attacked 2 city visitors from another plane, even though the great Nocticola made it clear that they were under her protection. Vesa and Nosecutter tracked down his victims in the upper city and killed them with a glaive. Then he robbed them and cut off their tongues and noses. This scrawny demon doesn't look like hardened killer. He whizzes in the shackles, yelling hysterically, "But I am not Versa the Nosecutter. I do not even know who that is. My name is Sharzal, and I've never been to the upper city. I'm not allowed to enter, even though that were a slaver of my status should live. Besides, I never held a glaive in my hand in my life. This is all Hebzimirach's fault. She wanted to buy my slave at half price, and I refused to sell. And now she's taking revenge against me and plans to get the hands on my slave. It seems to me that love is like a living creature. Sometimes it behaves one way and the other times another way. It is contradictory and inconsistent. It leads to both good and bad outcomes. And like every living creature, it is bound to die eventually. After all, every love, no matter how strong, is doomed to die. Is that not so? Love is like a food to buy in a cheap tavern. It smells better than it tastes and spoils sooner than you expect. Alexia tries to look stern, but she finally gives up and bursts out laughing. I don't know if I should be associated with you. You have such a wicked tongue, yet I cannot deny your wit. You may be dreadfully cynical and terribly naughty, but you are also very clever. Shamira shouts to be heard above the screams of Vasa the Nosecutter. The court finds the evidence of the incident person innocence to be quite convincing. However, false justice requires every sin to be punished, so therefore I hereby declare that this demon is vaster than Nosecutter, and he shall be executed without further delay. Shamira throws a conspirational glance at Hebzamira, who stands nearby. The latter grins and bows mockingly. Shamiri announces loudly, and the last crime for today is the most harmful and treacherous. Turn deaf ear to Shamira words. Valexa listens to the ruler. Valexa listens to the ruler of the city with a great interest, but when she catches your glance, she turns her attention to you eagerly. Thank you for your conversation. I expect to find it interesting, but I had no idea that our discussion would be so thought-provoking. I am so glad I decided to come here with you, and I sincerely hope that you will visit me again. I hope to see you at my manor soon. I host small reception for the most interesting and noteworthy resident of the upper city. Conversions at these receptions are always entertaining. If you were to attend, we could continue our discussion about love. Of course, I seriously doubt my guests would be in interest in this topic as I am, so perhaps we should finish our conversation in private. I hope to see you soon, sweet Kalalpala. Don't stay away too long. I'm looking forward to your next visit. Lexa gives you a dazzling smile and vanishes into thin air.
We march ahead.
something over there.
No reason to pause. This was simple enough.
I was successful in my search.
Can't hide from me.
Oh, yes, what?
Aeon, together we stand.
Vital is waiting for you in the main hall of the mansion. The spikes of his powerful shoulders and back bulge him out violently. He's obviously amused by immobilized Waldriff at his feet. I knew that the spawn of the Igepheles would come to gaze at his inheritance. Mistress Habzamira will be pleased when I bring her your shriveled, cowardly little heart, and when I shake your tiny soft brain from his horn skull. What should I do with it? Eat it myself or throw it back into the ditch you crawl out of? Is that really necessary? I couldn't just kill me with one merciful blow so I didn't notice, and then bury my body with honors. Or at least just bury in the ground, you know. Hey there, Chief. I guess I should have brought you along with me after all. I overestimated myself a little. Just a smidge. Why are you so eager to destroy him? He hasn't done anything to you. He and Igfellas are all guilty before my mistress, by virtue of their very birth. Lady Habzamira, the strongest child of Baphomet, hands down the unworthy brothers and sisters because she alone should stand before the throne of her father, the Lord of Labyrinth. I will tell you how Igfellas was killed, you pile of refuse, and his story will be the last thing that you hear. No one can escape from Mistress Habzamira. Igephelas tried. At first he settled down here in the city. He thought that in the lands of Noctucula no one would get him. I found him for my mistress. When he sensed me, he locked himself in his treasure room like a cowardly rat, not wanting to accept his inevitable death. I carved through his henchmen and reached his hiding place. The bones of those who did not have time to flee crunched beneath my feet. I tore down the doors of the treasure room, pretending to myself that I was ripping apart the pathetic coward, but inside I found only a corpse. Oh, my lady was so pleased, but... The demon smells eyes squint suspiciously. I knew something was wrong. The corpse lay in front of me, but I felt certain that Igephelas had escaped. I tortured his servants until they revealed the secrets of the moon of the abyss. I made them search every corner, but the moon was gone. How many years I searched for it, and then I found not only it, but his tieflings as well. Lady Habzamira will reward me when I bring her the horned skull of a defensive spawn that dishonors the blood of Baphomet, and she will reward me twice over when I reveal the escape of that scum. So is Waldriff the descendant of Baphomet himself? Yeah, so you're telling me that I'm related to old Baphomet? How's that happen? Lord Baphomet conceived many demons, many bastard children unworthy of their fathers. One of them was Igephelas, who made his way to Golarion. His blood, and thence the blood of the Baphomet, flows in new tieflings. Lady Habzamira will destroy all who defile the purity of this blood. Hold on, so does that mean that when you were telling me that those old tales about actually being a prince of faraway land, you were actually telling the truth? Looks like it, go figure. Waldriff shake his head in disbelief. I mean, I thought I was lying, but turns out I tripped over the truth without even knowing it. You sure did, Scylla grins. I seem to recall you wangling 10 coins out of me, promising to repay me with heaps of gold once you found your family and got your inheritance. Well, it's time to pay up. The thing is, my family's still alive and kicking, see? Why don't we revisit this topic once we are not under threat of a slow, painful death? So what is this Mononobus? Asked the tiefling. If Igwesfell left the moon for him, he should know the answer. Nobody explained nothing to me. I don't even know why it's so important. Why does nobody ever tell me anything? I don't even know who this Igwesfell guy is. My grandpa, my great-grandpa, my uncle. Voldy show with laughter. Stupid tiefling, do you even know why you are going to die? The demon that caused you to be born will also be the cause of your death. How did you know that Voldy was coming here? I was informed that the tiefling I was searching for had set foot in the street of the city. Where else would he go but to the mansion of his ancestor looking for treasure? The shadow brought me here. The shadow should have known you were here because it was always protecting me from you. But why? Why didn't it warn me? Could you just take the wood of the abyss and leave the vultures alone? Voyatel laughs hoarsely. I'll take them of the abyss, yes, but I'm not in no hurry, and you are going nowhere. Skewed on your edge of my spike, that's where you belong. Just like your friend and everyone else who decide to intercede on its behalf. I will make a goblet of your skull and bring it to my mistress. If that counts as leaving you alone, then you will place plenty. Release him immediately. Revenge of the Habsamira and her henchmen. A gigantic demon shadow separates from Waldif, menacingly hangs in the air. At times it seems to grow as its atmosphere of the abyss is feeling it's given in addition strength. Waldif, the voice of my shadow is deep and low, and it seems to penetrate the mind, enveloping and replacing any other thoughts. My heir. Wall just freezes as if under some spell. Grandpa? I mean, Your Honor? I mean, I don't know what you call you. I never had a grandpa like this before, and no, and I always knew it was your shadow. You are my guardian demon. Well, why not? Always knew I was special, a prince of something, and this is a chief. You should have get to know each other. Chief, this is my grandpa. It's a pleasure to make acquaintance with the demon who outwitted Habsamira henchmen. It is easy to deceive those who do not know what you know. My grandson Waldif discovered this knowledge without my help, and I'm proud of him. He deserves to become my heir. The one who will take my strength and avenge the fall of our branch of the family. A new Igveles will rise again. That's great and all, Grams, but I'm not quite following you. Revenge. A new Igveles? I mean, I want your power, of course, but like you just said, it's easy to deceive and all that, right, Chief? What do you want from Waldif? I want my grandson to accept my power and become a continuation of me. Tell me, Waldif, do you want to ascend to the top of the world and rule it? If we combine my power with your resourcefulness, the abyss will submit to us, and all those who wronged us will be punished. Are there many such wrongdoers, Waldif? Yes, I see, I know, and every wrong has been another step leading you to the moment. You have endured everything. You are worthy of the great power, my grandson. I am worthy, yes, but I didn't even do anything. Listen, Grandpa, I understand you've been holed up in a crystal for a long time, so you probably don't know me well. I just steal here and there, trade a little, and I've never done anything special, you know. Maybe I'm not worthy at all, maybe you're just wrong. What if later you turn around and say, you'd go and give you all power, you useless idiot. No, I'm not mistaken. I foresaw your birth, and I foresaw that you would come here. You are exactly what I need, Waldif, and no one can replace you. How did you survive? Thanks to our Odin, Igefellas gives a low chuckle that rumbles like distant thunder. I do not know if you remember the times where prophecies were not just heaps of useless words, but I do remember. You see, I am the son of Baphomet. I do think you need an explanation of who he is. Baphomet convinced many children, but my sister Habsamira wanted to be the only one. She marked us to death and hunted us down quite successfully. I did not want to be among her victims. I hid in town, but I knew it wouldn't last long. In the end, I decided to learn my future. Forwardness is forearmed. I was able to acquire all the knowledge I needed about my future self after my many rituals. I saw a vision of how I would put a crystal like a dark moon into a silver setting. I spent a long time trying to understand this vision, and finally, bit by bit, a prophecy came to me. I realized that I would have to die in order to live again, that the dark crystal must come to my refuge and the receptacle of my power. I must hide my soul in a crystal and wait for my heir to come to the abyss to free me. This crystal is the moon of the abyss, set within the silver mount. I sent it to Golarion for my grandson. Do you see, Warjiv? I anticipated your birth like no other. Demons to give something for nothing. What do you want in return? I have only one condition, and it's a very small one. Igefela shrinks down to the same size as Warjiv. My spirit will enter your body, Warjiv. It will hide within you, just as it hid within the crystal, invisible to you and invisible to others. So sort of wanna take over my body? Warjiv looks disappointed. Really, Grandpa? I thought better of you. I'm your grandson, you know? They shouldn't treat me, your grandkids, that way. You take care of... put them with the hijinks and stuff, not make puppets of them. Life has taught me to be too cautious, Warjiv. I do not want to take your body, I want to help you. Who were you before you found the Moon of the Abyss? A pathetic thief from a small town? A coward and a traitor? A boy who was hated by his own mother, driven away from everywhere he went? And look now, Viatel is dead. Look at all the treasures that are rightfully yours. And this is just beginning. You will become a prince of the Abyss, my grandson. Igefela's voice grows lower, more insinuating. As for my living within your body, your success will be my success. I will only give you advice, and as I did in the Ward Wound, and you will be free to choose whatever not to listen. However, I see that words will not satisfy you. Let me show you what you will gain if you agree. You say I've been driving away from everywhere, but the chief hasn't chased me off. So... show her too, since we got into it together, Chief. Actually, it's fine, forget about it. Do what you want. Show me too. I don't want Warjiv to have face you alone. Igefela show no sign of impatience, but his darkness seems to become deeper, more compelling. What a loyal friend you are, Warjiv, but you may be a chief. Just wants to guide you every step of the way. Maybe she's just afraid that you'll become too independent. Warjiv looks to you as if trying to find the answer, but then turns away. I don't know, Grams. Maybe you're right, but even if your chief moves off, even if she doesn't do what I like, she's still the best thing that ever happened to me. At least let her take a look. As you wish. Igefela's begin to grow, his darkness pulsing in and surrounding you until you are completely enveloped and nothing else can be seen. There is only silence, only darkness and soothing voice. Close your eyes. I will show you what the world will be like when the dark moon of the abyss rises. As darkness recedes, you realize that you're standing on a deserted street in Canabres. However, to call it standing is exaggerating. You are a disembodied spirit, and though your transparent body, you can see the walls of neighboring houses. Next to you is a slovenly dressed old woman with a swollen face. Her lips purse unkindly. When she opens her mouth, you hear the violet voice of Igefela's. Observe, Commander. A boy of about 10 runs towards you, and as he gets closer, you recognize him as Warjiv. He looks scared and clenches a piece of bread in his chest. Gran, help me. He said if I should take the bread from them. Hide me, Gran. The old man does not budge. Look at you, Warjiv. Small, weak, useless, always blaming others, as always holding them responsible for your failures. You are exactly the same as you always have been. A boy who is afraid of the world, that he hides behind someone else's back. First your grandmother, then the tieflings, then the commander. The boy can't hold back his tears anymore. Gran, why don't you even help me? You're all I have. They beat me, so hide me, please. You'll remain this way forever because you are too cowardly and weak to cope on your own. Only I can free from this fear. Accept me, accept my power and destroy your enemies. Come on, do not hesitate. Igefela turns to you. Watch, Commander. Once he gets a taste of his power, you will never be able to sway him again. Do you want to be worthy of the power? Then fight back properly. Warjiv turns to turn. He hears your voice, wiping away his tears and sniffing loudly. The illusion vanishes and he becomes an adult again. Right, Chief, I can't keep running all the time. I really need these powers if I'm gonna survive. When the darkness dissipates, you find yourself in a familiar basement, and the belongings of the tieflings, Scary, Messy, and the others stand across from you, mercening as you did before. And next to Warjiv is you. I thought better of him, and I trusted you. You will never change, Warjiv. I was wrong about you after all, Warjiv. You are a traitor. He took you into the gangs because you heard you were a master of lockpicker. I was warned that you were a traitor and did not listen. I took you on, and for what? You've only endangered the family. But I didn't betray you. I only took what belongs to me, right, Chief? It's your fault I've been treated badly. Maybe if you were nicer, I wouldn't have done it. Don't try any of your fast talk on them. It's useless. Deep down, you wanted your chief to appreciate you, and for the tieflings to love you for who you are, so they couldn't really become your family since your blood relatives never were. But look at yourself, a coward, a thief, a loudmouth, a street rat, and even a demon spawn. Who even want to accept you? There's nothing in you worthy of interest. Take my power roaches and enchant them. They'll praise your name endlessly. You bask in their adoration. Enchant them. You won't possess the power of a demon, so take what you want from life, as all demons do. And why not? Warjiv grins. I need their sincerity. I don't have time to balance on my tail and perform tricks while I'm begging them to pay attention to me. Well, let's see how this demonic magic models minds. Come on, brothers and sisters, sing my praises. You must become our leader. We love you. You are the best of our thieflings. The darkness dissipates again like in the last illusion, but this time you see no more Warjiv in front of you, but two. The second looks at Heb Mirza, who is before him. He looks like an exact copy of himself, but something in him has changed. His presence is cold, and there is greatness like an aura of darkness that vibrates around him. Now look, Commander. No, don't kill me, have mercy. See what my power bestows? Imprisoned in the crystal, I felt how he called me, how my magic was changing. I can defeat Heb Samira, even Baphomet himself. With my power, you can easily crush your enemies, and any crusade will seem like a leisurely stroll. Now come and guide my hair to the right path. Is this what I've become if I accept your gift, Grandpa? I do look pretty good. His voice still sounds uncertain. Warjiv looks back and forth between you and his double. So we need to decide right now. There won't be another chance. Alright, I have to ask the chief one last time. What do you reckon? Take your power and destroy the old Warjiv. Warjiv's eyes light up with a familiar gleam. What, Chief, you mean you have my sweet roll and eat it too? That's my dream come true, and all in all, well, that's left to think about. Hey Grams, I've decided. Warjiv takes off the moon of the abyss and watches it mysteriously shimmer in the light one last time. Then, obeying some inner call, he removes the crystal from its setting and presents it to his chest. Yes, throw away everything human, everything that holds you. Accept the power of the moon of the abyss. Give it to me. Without me, you are nothing. You're a weakling, just a street rat. But together, we will win. Warjiv stands motionless for a moment and gives a brief grin. You're out of luck, Rams. I'll take your power, but I think I'll pass on your valuable advice. How do you like that?
Defeat is not an option.
Make every strike count.
done.
Into the fray!
This one's mine.
Saporane Sente.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel. On it! See! Go!
No glory without risk!
Press the attack. You won't survive me.
Tactical retreat. No.
We shall overcome.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Retreat is not an option.
Patritium Turinos!
Endure this!
Do not hold back.
Well, that's that, I guess. And I was just getting used to having a grandpa. He's not the type who will teach you how to fish and fill a pipe, you know, but he's alright. Probably even decent for a demon. Not surprising that Gran remembered him well. But I don't give a damn about either of them. I can't wait. I want to test out my new power, Chief. With you, I'll be sure to find the perfect place to test it and the perfect folk to test it on. Thanks, Chief. You're probably the last mortal I'll ever thank. And the first, probably, too. You're special like that. To me. Kind of my only... ally. Yeah, we're allies now. What now? That Samira won't leave me alone now, will she? She'll find out who knocked off her servant. So I'll have to go and show her what I'm made of. And then go about my own business at home. Here, I mean. I can breathe easier here, Chief. Here, no one's gonna call me a traitor. Because everyone's a traitor. No one's gonna condemn me because no one's in any place to judge. And no need to think about who's sincere, because everyone's lying. being around normal people felt like being tossed around in a frying pan. You know, just trying to save my life by convincing everyone I was a good guy. I'm done with that. I am what I am, a scoundrel and a traitor. So I should be with my kind of people. And I'll be the best of them all. I can promise you that. Until we crush that spawn of Baphomet who keeps causing trouble for me, I'm with you, Chief. After that, if I get bored, I'll leave. Well, so long to the old family nest. I should really take care of you properly. But it's not time yet. We need to lock you up tight so nobody takes nothing. By the way, that goes for you too, Chief. Having me with you is a reward in itself, and we'll snag a lot of gold together. But the treasure in here is all mine and only mine. You hear?
Let us not hesitate. I will guide us.
I'm always open to ideas. Nice try. Didn't work though.
Without a doubt.
The sound of Jerrybeth agitated chittering fills your ears. I don't know how adept you are at reading the emotions of others, so I must warn you, you are in danger. What are you doing here? I'm enjoying the benefits of the newfound friendship with Alexia. I have become her servant and companion, and she has given me all the protection and privileges afforded to her inner circle. She loves original and innovative forms of entertainment, and you know how good I am entertaining demons. Aren't you afraid of Baphomet revenge? Baphomet won't quarrel with one of the Noctucular best friends just to get revenge on an insignificant worm like myself. You hear amusement in Gibareth's disembodied voice. While the lesser servants of all three demons lords are constantly embroidered in conflict, always trying to entrap one another in webs of intrigue, and powerful and influential demons prefer to stay neutral. The time for their conflict has not yet come. Why am I in danger? Alexia greatest enemy is her boredom, and he has bested her once again. My lady grows tired of you, and your company no longer gives her so much joy as it did before. You have ceased to surprise her, and she now finds you tedious and dull. If you wish to keep her interest, you need to stop acting so periodically. Try to keep her puzzled and intrigued by your behavior. If you follow my advice, you may stand the chance of living the rapture of rapture with mind and body unharmed. Well, tell me about her. She's a magnificent creature, but she has always been afflicted by the terrible condition. She's consumed by boredom. Her entire life is an endless agony. Of each day her torment grows worse. Her efforts to elude these terrible conditions are always short-lived and unsuccessful. If Alexia was not beset by such unsustainable curiosity, and if her moods and tastes did not change so quickly, she could have been even more powerful than she is now. It is possible that Alexia could have been a worthy rival to Nocticula several millennia ago. She might even have claimed the throne that now belongs to Our Lady in Shadow. Of course, it is also possible that after 3 days in power, she might have found her new status as a demon lord to be exaggeratedly boring and no longer desirable. Alexia Demenia has changed since the last time you saw her. She looks at you with a mixture of boredom and irritation. When she greets you, her friendliness no longer seems genuine, but forced and insincere. His is our long-awaited guest. The performance is about to begin, and there is so much new talent here today. I wonder if any of them will entertain me. She looks directly at you as she makes the last remark. Who knows what will happen between... so what entertainment have you prepared for us, for your guests? Her voice carries a note of resentment, and here I thought you were here to entertain me, not the other way around. Alexia claps her hand imperiously, and one of the performers begins to sing a heartfelt ballad in deep, velvety voice. Alexia looks tired, and her eyes are full of sadness. There is a wistful note in her voice as she asks, "Tell me, how did you end up here in Abyss? You are not one of us. Our ways are foreign to you. Why did you come to our world?" You invaded my world, and now you will reap what you've sown. Alexia sounds slightly disappointed. So you only came here to seek revenge? How predictable. I had hoped for something more original. The demon interrupts the ballad with the implement claps on her hands. The singer quails beneath her impervious gaze and hurries away. Another performer steps forward, dressed as a jester. Here's another one for your distinguished guest. How many mortals will it take to paint the manor? Depends how hard you throw them at the walls. The wailing was starting to annoy me. What do we have next? Oh, another fool has decided to entertain me with jokes. Well, as far as I'm aware, laughing at cripples and misfortunes is popular on Golarion as well. If you ask me, it's a primitive form of entertainment. Still, you mortals seem to enjoy it, even though you try to pretend yourself different from us creatures of vice and evil. Now that I'm thinking about it, what is the difference between demons and Golarions? We represent order, and you present chaos. The demons shrugged indifferently. So what? Those are just labels. You force yourself to live a certain way so that you can fit into some arbitrary category. Then you categorize everyone else, putting them all into little boxes so that you can distinguish yourself from anyone who isn't like you. Then you do it again and again, dividing the world into little boxes, then grow smaller each time. But that is the very definition of chaos. Chaos is a lack of uniformity. There is plenty of chaos on Golarion. Valexia dismisses the gesture with a wave of hand. A scrawny spellcaster comes forward and immediately conjures up to 2 illusions that begins to fight valiantly with one another. Valexia rolls her eyes in exasperation, and her voice is unpleasantly shrill. Deep down, I'm beginning to wonder if you are worth my time. Why should I desire your company? What more do you have to offer? This is the question you must answer for yourself. Valexia is no longer trying to be polite. Her face is cold, cruel, and full of malice. Her voice is dangerously calm, but her voice carries a clear threat. You should think twice before telling me what I must or must not do on Golarion. I advise you do not let such a mistake happen again. Alexia snaps her fingers in irritation and magic sparks fly from her fingers. The performances who were unlucky enough to provide their evening entertainment begin to scream with pain. Their bodies change shape, density and color. In a matter of moments they have been completely transformed into a set of whimsically decorated furniture. The pieces of furniture creak sadly, as if lamenting their bitter fate. Valexia is clearly tired of you, and the polite words she forced out between her clenched teeth do a poor job of hiding frustration. I must admit that our time together has brought me a certain degree of amusement. However, I do not intend for us to meet again. I ask that you take this humble gift in sign of affection, and in a fond memory of the pleasure our conversation used to provide. The succubus hands you an elegant piece of jewelry. This is one of my last creations. It has an intelligent mind of its own. It is certainly far more clever and sophisticated than many living creatures I know. The jewelry will identify the most important traits and features of its owner, and then it will enhance those abilities. It is a rare and valuable gift, and I hope you appreciate its worth. And now I must ask you to leave. I have grown tired of your company. Thank you for your time. I enjoy your meeting. Now I must go. Valexia looks at you with barely concealed annoyance, but she forces herself to smile politely. Our dates were unforgettable, and now I ask you to leave as soon as possible. Valencia granted you a patronage. Though her interest did not last long, this affair has still brought you recognition and the fear of respect of city many residents. I must ask you to be honest with me. Do you like all the attention? I'm a crusader and I remember my duty. And that means you are strong as ever in your convictions. The soul who fell victim to the promises of cruel Valencia are beyond count. But your resilience in the fate of temptation deserve my wholehearted respect. A red-haired, beautiful demon sits majestically on the throne, an aura of bright light blazing around her. It is not the gentle, life-giving light that shines on Golarion. This light blinds, withers, makes a person burn with fever, draining the strength. And who do we have here? The latest wanderer from another world coming to seek my patronage. Less of your arrogance, you have no idea what powers I command. Shamira just shrugs, look bored. No matter what powers you possess, I doubt they would impress me more than the two ballers who stand in the fight in the middle of the city and whom I had forced into obedience. I doubt you would be match for an infuriated Marilach rode by some cunning thief. Negotiating with you will hardly be more difficult than negotiating with the unknown monster that emerges from Ishire and plans to devour this whole island in a single gulp. If you seek to impress me, you'll have to do something more than just boasting about your powers. This city harbors individuals who violate the laws of Abyss. I'll point them out to you and see to that you give them a fair trial. Shamira leans forward. What are you saying, insect? You are going to keep an eye on me? You will see them held to account? Perhaps it whatever dirty hole you crawled out of. You words carry weight, but here you are nothing. Don't test my patience. What kind of harem is this then? Shamira snapped irritably. What do you think? Because I am Shamira the Aradan Dream, the chosen lover of the great Nocticola? Even time she grows wary of plots and conspiracies and craves wild passions and warm caresses. She comes here to her harem. Doesn't the word harem means a group of individuals always ready to copulate with a master of a mistress of a harem? The names should accurately describe the function of the establishment. For instance, residence of the former angel, intended of a copulation between the above-mentioned angel girl and lady Noctilla, which also performs the function of the city hall. My suggestion is simple. The skewery. Actually, that name suits all of the city. I seen you with Hebzamira at the flesh markets. Tell me about her. Hebmazira is an honored guest here in the city. I'm not going to discuss her with a stranger I met. What about, do you want to tell me about Nocticola then? Pursing her lips in a smoked smile, Shamira answered with a venom in her voice. What exactly are you expecting to hear from me beyond what any other resident of the city could tell you? Yes, I am closer to Nocticola than anyone else, but do you really think I'll spill her secrets to you? Our Lady in the Shadow doesn't like to be discussed behind her back. In the scope of her realm, the entire Midnight Isles prove that her anger can be extremely dangerous. She is worshipped on many planes, including Golarion Rite. At night, she sometimes comes to insane rapists and murderers and paints in their minds pictures of immortality and horrors, masterpieces of lust and despair. She is the first succubus, the most powerful and most seductive, the murderer of countless demon lords and usurper of the abyssal realm. Over the bodies of the victims, she climbed to unbelievable heights, and now she stands far above the loathsome brother, Sokothenboth. Thus she has proved her victories were gained not just by means of the power, but also by her great intelligence and willpower. How did you achieve such a standing? You don't know my story? This explains why you are not on your knees before me. I was once a celestial being, and my fiery wings carried me from the upper planes to insignificant little worlds like your Golarion. I gifted fantasies and dreams, kindly kindled flames in the wind, minds of dreamers, and I loved it. Sometimes these fantasies took shape too daring and unbridled, or so it seems to me, but I made no effort to stop it. A dream is a bird, not a horse. You can't restrain it, you can only hurt it with your restraints. The dream that I saw were becoming more daring, bolder, and with them I changed as well. One day I rejected the limits imposed on me by my masters. In the world I was visiting, a wildfire of dreaming broke out. A dream so daring and bold it could come to fruition only through great atrocities and monstrous immortal deeds. I could have stopped it, but I didn't. I was mesmerized by the great vision. I didn't return to my world. as I would not be accepted. Instead, I descended onto the abyss, looking for someone who could truly appreciate me and the dreams I bestow. Nocticola noticed my flame blaze over the dark waters of the ocean. She came for me and shrouded me in her shadows. That night was very memorable. Since then, I have served her and have been close friend and right hand. Do you really hate Asimas and kill them brutally? Shamira smiles, looking very much like a large hungry cat that would just spotting the next victim. Oh yes, it is incomparable pleasure to gradually deprive them of everything they once had. First their hope, and then their noble appearance, their innocence, and finally their life. When they scream, renouncing everything they once believed in, their master, their gods, their heritage, it's music to my ears. Shamira eyes narrow, her expression kind. Do not for a moment think I am unaware of who stole the batch of young Asima women from me, and who's been shipped to Diak in the flesh market. I remember that, Golarion. I came here for seeking patronage. Shamira looks at you up and down with contemptuous expression and answers with a scoff. So what use can you be to me, you foolish little mortal? The most powerful demon serves me. What can you, pitiful self, offer me that they can't? In your mind, Shamira's voice sounds calmer, though it's still arrogant. In truth, there is one thing you can help me with, Golarion, but one other must know about it. Work for me, and I will grant you a share of my attention and patronage. No doubt you have already heard of the Hadrian Crystal, objects of astonishing power that grants the owner incredible abilities. Everyone in the city knows they exist, but no one knows what they are or where they get them. No one expects for a smoke cow, Habzamira. I want you to find out what they are. My advice is to start searching in the pile of refuse known as the lower city. Ask for Ziforian, my predecessor, now a beggar. He's a pathetic wretch, he's still alive. He may know something. Now go and don't bother returning until you have my information. I need... Here, take my mark. So the arch near the palace will let you in. I don't want to waste my time waiting while you wind your way back through the streets of the city with valuable information. Your pack becomes a bit heavier as if some new item must appear inside. The hand of the inheritor addresses you, undercutting an of alarm in his words. I see greed in the eyes of this fiend. She's ready to offer you a deal, and I sense that more than idle interests lie behind it. We both know the Hadrian Crystal can make demons immensely powerful. We are pursuing Hebzamira to prevent her from creating and unleashing upon us an army of mythical monsters transformed by this crystal. Yet, if you reveal the secret of the crystal to Shamira, we risk simply trading one enemy for another. Our mission demands that we make concessions, but it does not mean we must blindly obey every demon's request. Weigh each of Shamira's words, remember how cunning she is, and do not let her turn into a tool she can use to commit atrocities. Armor your heart and do not do only what you must, not what she, with all her promises and charm, will try to convince you to do. And be prepared to find a knife in your back at any moment. So you and Mazera aren't friends, I take it? No, ma'am, Shamira's voice answered with arrogant scoffs. Be friends with that miserable cow? Of course not. I'm courting her to learn her secrets, but it's a constant struggle not to put her in her place. Bahovet minions are far too bold here in the city. Tell me about this crystal you're so interested in. You haven't heard of the Hadrian Crystal? Ha! Are the Golarians so stupid and observant? They are purple crystal, possessing them grants immense power. Unfortunately, only high-ranking servants of Pathfinder knows where to find them, or how to use them. They use the crystal to gain tremendous power, and now they stand strewed around the city like they own the place. Why should I look for Ziforian? When I first heard about the crystal, it reminded me of the last day of Ziforian's rules. He was Nocticola right hand before me. He was plotting a coup, and I was spying on him to turn him into Nocticola and take his position. I remember that he was trying to get his hands on a purple crystal of some kind, and that he eventually succeeded. I didn't pay my attention to that at the time, but the current situation makes me think perhaps it was the Hadrian Crystal he was after. If so, Zephyrian might know something about him. Where should I look for him? There is note of disgust in Shamira's voice. In the depths, if he's still alive, the gravity of particular punishment would have dragged him to the very bottom of the city. Dig through the garbage, talk to the virgins and beggars. You surely don't expect me to do it, do you? Looking at my mind, you might be interested in that place. It's there I saw purple crystals. The voice of an inheritor rings in your ears. Be on your guard, champion. If you share your knowledge with this dangerous creature, it will not be used for good. Appointed inheritor the source of great power, you may unwittingly become an accomplice to all crimes committed with newfound power. After pondering a moment, Shamira nodded coldly. Perhaps you are not as useless after all. I have heard you, and now you're free to leave. What about my reward? My attention is your reward. You were seeking my patronage, yes? You have earned it. And don't push your luck, little mortal. You should be grateful you have opportunity to freely give this information. And is gone otherwise. It would have been ripped from your mind along with your flesh and blood.
I will guide us.
The beggar raises his eyes to you, his gaze clouded by dull anger. What you want? I want to fight Zephyrian. Who? Who's that? Never heard of anyone by that name. And if anyone had heard of him, they won't be telling you anyway. You might find a beggar in the lower city who would be willing to chat with you. But before you find him, you'll have to run through those nice boots of yours. That's once good pairs, but I'd be ashamed if you ruined them. How about you just give them to me instead, eh? What about small donation? Know what? Better on my way now. I don't need the money. Shady, I don't know what you're looking for. I'm looking for Zephyrian. Do you know where he is? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. It's not my place to gossip with customers. I'm an innkeeper, not a spy, so buy yourself something to drink and stop wasting time. I've got a special liquor you should try. A true rarity, 100,000 gold. Okay, let's have it. The liquor is revolting, savouring of rotten meat and mold, but the aftertaste is surprisingly tart and pleasant. The demon gives you a short, creaky laugh, and a swarm of crickets had awakened his lungs. Zephyrian, eh? Hardly anyone remember that name. He was an ambitious son of a bitch, sharp and tenacious, but he was hasty in his attempts to overthrow Nocturkilla. And our Lady in the Shadow remembers all too well how she was underestimated by the demon lords Viria Vaxus. So she dealt with Zephyrian before she could stab her in the back. She ruined him completely. Well, when that lump of bleeding flesh opened its eyes and moaned, we were shocked it still lived and breathed. On that day, Zifron's name was relegated to the city's past and forgotten, but I've seen once or twice among the beggars. He sits in the threshold of the Battle Bliss arena, begging for gold, and no one recognizes him. Nocticola didn't just break his body but his spirit. So far as I know, he has never tried to take his revenge on her, and he has plenty of reason to want revenge. Oh yes. A vagrant is repulsive even in the standard of the Abyss. His lumpy, scared face makes you think he was put through a meat grinder and shaped back into the semblance of his former body and let to live out in his life. His tall and once impressive figure has been shattered. His arms are covered in the protruding lumps of unset bones that were left to heal improperly. The beggar is clad in many layers of dirt, smells grass onto which hundreds of keys are sewn, from tiny toy box key to a giant cast iron key that bows the demon neck almost to the ground. So you are looking for Zephorian. He's long dead, but he doesn't seem to be stopping you. What else would you want with the dead man? Zephorian, the master of lies and trickery. I remember fighting him. Why do you know about the Nehedrian crystals? There's a tale told the city, a tale about crystals that grant immense power. But what exactly are they, and from where they do draw the power? No one seems to know. I've seen something like it once before. I found the first crystal on the Isle of Vazgla, and it seems useless to me. It contained a great deal of power, but it was of no use whatsoever. I meant to give it to my patron, and he would have found a way to use it, but I never had the chance. Some feeble mortal mage managed to steal the crystal from me. He locked himself in the tower, examined the crystal, studied it, and managed to find some use for it. But he was under Nocticola protection, so I never tried to hunt him down. The demon grins unpleasantly. I bet you're thinking I'm going to tell you the name you seek and then you can rush off to have a chat with the mage. Not a chance. The mage wasn't a demon. He was a mortal who served Nocticola arcane needs back in the day. Kicked the bucket long ago. All that's left of him is the tower of the upper city, locked and protected by magic. Many have tried to get inside in the hopes of stealing something of value, but it remains rotten long ago. No use thinking about them now. Ah, but you're curious now. You'd like to have a poke around the tower, wouldn't ya? Perhaps you can find something of use in there, yes? Zephorian gives you a mocking grin and takes side ski from a rag, siding it to you with a sweeping gesture. Take it while I'm still free, feeling generous. This will open the way into the tower. When I ruled the city, I made sure I had key for every hideout and tucked away nook in the city. You never know when they might come in handy. Here, take this and got lost. No one will throw me a coin with you hanging about. The beggar word sounds strange and unnatural. After all, good intention and selflessness are contrary to the very nature of any demon. Those words should be the evidence that lead you to Zephorian guilt. However, you fail to notice anything unusual in him. He is flesh and blood of the Abyss in the very way, and his soul is dark and anonymous. Your words are those of a criminal who is acting against his very nature, but you don't look guilty, and this means there is a trap waiting for me in the tower. The demon angry maw breaks into a malicious grin. You'll probably die there, or maybe you won't, or you'll find out that Shamira wants. If it was Shamira who sent you, right? She was the one who turned me into Nocticola back in the day, and now she wants to topple her mistress and take her place, just as I once tried to. That's why she wants this crappy crystal so much. So be it, I say. Whoever loses the fight, I'll be the winner, and I'll save the outcome. You, Shamira, Nocticola, may you all drop dead, tear out each other's throats, and strange each other with your own intestines. You're all scum, and I'll piss on your corpses as they float by my ocean of my blood. Share your knowledge with me. I know a lot about the city and about its current ruler too. Trust me, saying its power in the city wasn't easy. What would you like to know? What did you do to fall so low? I was overly hasty. I had power back then, and I grew with every passing day. Lamash to belch, I was just a step away from becoming more powerful than Nocticola and toppling Hay from the throne. And why not? After all, that's exactly how she got where she is now after she took down that toothy old freak. I was about to start my cup after even Coop had even found a powerful patron, Nocticola brother, who held a serious grudge against her. But before I had time to start, that sly mortal mage stole an important thing from me, a thing that could have shifted the balance of power, and then the red-headed little bitch learned about my plans. She turned me in to Nocticola, and she struck before I could. I fell, and the red-headed harlot took my place. Ah, Shamira, I should have strangled you at the moment you appeared in the abyss. What do you think of the city today? It's the same pile of crap it was when I was in charge. Here in the abyss everything changes constantly, but nothing really changes at all. I could tell you how much better the city was when I ran this, but I would be lying. Back in my day I was no different, just as I did. Shamira ruled this crazy lot with an iron fist, subduing them throughout terror and violence. It doesn't take a genius to do that. You just need to be absolutely ruthless and have enough power to be able to drown any insolent scum in your own blood. Actually, it can be done by any brainless discarnate who can crush mountains, but you can't count how many corpses are impaled on his spiky claw. Got any advice how to survive this place? The demon responds with favour, the words positively burning out of him. Do not trust anyone, and once you ascend high enough, be especially suspicious of the unexpected gifts that will suddenly start being showered upon you. No one else here does anything without a reason. With a bitter chuckle, the Indian makes obvious effort to steam out of knowledge. The human half of Alan face looked decidedly pale. Life's a funny thing, isn't it? You find yourself in a new city and suddenly you bump into an old acquaintance. He chuckled, but his expression is closer to a wind-statue smile. Sava Kamlek is here, in the city. How do you know? Lan offers a vague shrug without looking at you in the eye. I feel it. You know, it's like a scent. You smell something unusual once you're alive and remember it forever. That feeling I had in the cave when Savalamarket was turning the Mongols into beasts is back. Like some cloying, nasty stench that's clogging up my lungs. Like I fell into a latrine I can't swim. Excuse my apology. Assuming he's here, where should we look for him? Now that I don't know, but the thing is, it seems to grow weaker and stronger as we move around. So if you put me on the stand, I'll lend you him like a hound. Alright, we'll find him. Lan nods. The right thing to do would be to just raise this whole city to the ground, but one demon slayer will do the start. Lucia's shoulders are stooped. Starting to flow, she hands a scented letter a whisper. Take a look. The one who sent me this letter, I hope I would never hear from him again, but it was inevitable. He found out that I was in the city, of course he did, and now there's no help me. He thought of seeing him again terrifies me. But this is simply part of my journey, isn't it? I can't just run away from the sins of my past. I have at least try and make amends. And if you can't, and if I can't, then I must ask for business. Who is the Malchio? Do you remember the shadow from my nightmares? That's him. I used to consider him my crowning achievement, but now I'm ashamed to remember him at all. He was an Azata once, a true hero, a knight and a poet, a defender of the weak, the pride of Ecilium, and I corrupted him. I made him fall in love with me. I broke his heart. I made him commit foul crimes I could not even describe. And when he became indistinguishable from a demon, I left him in the abyss. And now he wants to see me again. I'm frightened and ashamed. Venomous butterfly, I've heard those words before in your dream. That is what my nightmare calls me, my most horrific disgrace. There was a time when that name suited me perfectly. I've poisoned so many souls. I've ruined so many beautiful creatures, both mortals and not. The Sukibi shakes her head forlornly. Almost all of them are dead now, but this nightmare of mine is still alive, and it means there is still hopes of saving him. Are you going to accept? I don't want to. You have no idea how afraid I am. What will I say? How will I look at him in the eye after everything I've done to him? But I feel I must do this. I must see him. I must tell him that a fall like his is not a death sentence, that there is a way to go back. And if he won't listen to me, she looks down once again, I'll simply ask for his forgiveness. If you don't want to see him, don't. I would love to do that, but I feel that would be wrong. A person must make penance for the sins, not merely forget them, right? And I used to think he was my masterpiece, the pinnacle of my sordid achievements. He haunts me in the dreams. I must see him in the waking world. You should do what you think is right. I'll go. I'll force myself, but please, she gasped if she is brave of her. Please let go together. I must see him again face to face. I must try to save him from the abyss. I doubt it's possible. I know how much you have corrupted him, but I must try, nevertheless. I must. And yet I can't do it on my own. Sukibi sobs and bursts her face in her hands.
My sword is an extension of my arm. My sword is an extension of my arm. So, is my plumage an extension of my head? Focus, Sela.